Well, we know why we are here. This is another milestone in our program of work through the years. 8 years now, especially since almost 8 years since the earthquake. And we have really enjoyed these particular projects because of the impact that we can see immediately on the life of the people of the city and the province. I'm sure NHCP will agree with me. The joy of our work is really seeing the impact that it has, on people enjoying, appreciating, using the heritage, history, and cultural assets that we restore, preserve, operate, and in some cases manage for the benefit of all. And so just looking around in the last couple of days at people enjoying the renovated plaza really gives us gratification. And that's really the fulfillment of our work in the cultural agencies. We're very lucky that we can see the fruits of our work almost immediately, and the connection to our constituencies, which is of course the general public and our friends from all around the world. And we can see the pride in people's hearts, the pride in their eyes, when they see something that's well done for them, done for all. And this plaza is certainly a fine example of that. I'm really, really happy that Dr. Escalante could join us this morning, because a project such as the main plaza of a major town, a provincial capital, a city, the preservation of plazas, especially historical ones, is a main concern of the NHCP. So I'm really happy to present to NHCP, and it's no less than its chairman, what we have done here, which is really just to bring back the space, to highlight the focal monuments and old heritage structures, the bandstand, of course the monument to Rizal from 1912, the post-war fountain, even the chess pavilion that connects us with President Garcia, who was, of course, famous for being a lover of chess. Of course, with the Capitol, the cathedral, and the various structures, the Escuela de Niñas. It's really been our privilege to bring back what can be brought back, to give people a sense of the ancestral space that this represents at the heart of the provincial capital. There's still more work to do. When Congressman was governor before, we had a slightly more ambitious scope, which was to see if we could reroute the traffic and pedestrianize Carlos P. Garcia here, and even, if possible, the part in front of the cathedral, so that it would be structure to structure, a whole people-friendly space, get rid of the wires, get rid of the bakod. Well, much of that remains to be done, but I think what could be done, relocation of the STP over there, those are the longer-term aspects of this improvement that we have set in motion. But what people can enjoy now is a beautiful sense of space, beautiful sense of heritage. Of course, the many benches, the cooling fountain, the bandstand. Maybe one day we can, at the National Museum, have a program of some music in the evening for people to enjoy, and so on and so forth. Being right here at the old provincial capital, and before at the Escuela de Niñas, we're really committed, of course, to enhancing the quality of life, the quality of the experience of Tagbilaran, and from here out to the rest of the province. So it's been really a privilege for us, and we really thank the provincial government and all the other authorities, stakeholders, for entrusting this project to us. And of course, we would like to acknowledge the efforts of our contractor, 401 Construction and Development, who have been instrumental in implementing not only this project, but so many around the province and around the country. As usual, they did a good job, and they're actually here to make refinements and to help us move forward to really bring out the potential of what we try to achieve here. So thank you to 401 and everyone who helped us. Of course, the General Service Office, the Provincial Engineering Office, and others. So it is really my pleasure today to turn this over. Let's also remember that today is the day before the birthday of our national hero, Jose Rizal, to whom this plaza is dedicated, of course, is Plaza Rizal. So starting tomorrow, yes, which is one reason why we couldn't be here tomorrow. Of course, Chairman Escalante will lead the celebration of Rizal's birthday in Calamba, Laguna tomorrow. So starting tomorrow, people can remember the national hero in improved surroundings, fitting to his memory and fitting to the heritage of the province. With that, thank you again for your presence. Thank you for the support and trust. And I hope that everyone enjoys the plaza.
Napagala si Director Jeremy R. Barnes, Director General, National Museum of the Philippines.
To our special guests today, we have the Honorable Jeremy R. Barnes, the Director General of the National Museum of the Philippines. To our dear friend, the Honorable Rene Escalante, the head of the National Historical Commission of the Philippines. To our former governor, our Congressman of the 1st District, Congressman Edgar Enchato. To our former governor, to our former 1st District Congressman, and now our Vice Governor, Rene Lopez Relampagos, who leads the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. This morning, he is joined by Board Member Alvner De Malerio and Board Member Lucille Lagunay, Sangguniang Panlalawigan Member Lucille Lagunay and Alvner De Malerio. Good morning as well to the Honorable John Jesnel Babayap, ably represented by May Hope Arsenal. To Father Valentino Pinlac, the head of the Bohol Historical Arts and Culture Heritage Committee. To all our beloved friends, to our media partners. With today's turnover of the restored Escuela de Niñas and Plaza Rizal by the National Museum, we are capping 3 days of momentous cultural and tourism activities. Day 1, or last Wednesday, I received 10,000 vaccines specifically for tourism industry stakeholders and frontline workers, making us the first province to receive vaccines specifically for its tourism frontliners. This morning, after this event, we will now begin vaccinating our accredited tourism establishments, transport groups, our tour guides, our accommodation facilities, and more, in an effort to assure visitors and residents alike that we are taking steps to assure the safety of all as we reopen tourism. This will also be a welcome step for possible charter flight arrivals from foreign capitals in as early as 2 months from now to pursue our tourism bubble plans. I'm also happy to note, and I congratulate the Bohol Chamber. I was informed yesterday that 2,000 vaccines for the Bohol Chamber, which we facilitated with the Federation of Filipino-Chinese Chambers of Commerce and Industry, has arrived in Manila from China. And by next week, will be delivered to Bohol so the private sector can begin their vaccination program as well. I would like to thank the Federation of Chinese Chambers of Commerce and Industry for acceding to my request to include the Bohol Chamber as part of the 500,000 vaccine private sector allocation that arrived just the other day. This means that the Bohol Chamber is actually one of the first private organizations in the country to receive the vaccine allocation ahead of others. Yesterday, day 2, we accepted the completion of the quincentennial marker in Punta Cruz, Maribojoc. I thank Dr. Rene Escalante of the National Historical Commission of the Philippines and also Dr. Jeremy Barnes of the National Museum for including Bohol in the celebrations and accepting our proposal to place the marker in Punta Cruz to celebrate the historical fact that one of Magellan's ships, the Concepcion, was burned and destroyed in Maribojoc Bay when it was no longer possible to sail it back to Spain for lack of sailors when many died in the Battle of Bactan in May of 1521. Finally, today, day 3, we are accepting the restored Escuela de Niñas and Plaza Rizal from the National Museum in support of the protection and restoration of our national cultural properties and treasures. The Escuela de Niñas will especially be a beautiful jewel to our heritage public spaces. This is coming fresh from the completion and the turnover of the Lobok Church 1 month ago. We are not yet done because before the year is finished, we will be accepting the restored churches of Loon and Maribojoc from the National Museum of the Philippines. Congratulations, Director Jeremy Barnes. In Bohol, tourism, history, culture, arts, music, the environment, jobs, and the economy all coexist as one. We are doing our part in restoring our tourism economy, but this will only come to pass if we can find the correct balance between lives and livelihoods. Each is not exclusive of the other. Each is a precondition of the other. This is the reason why the message continues to be preserving our health and protecting each other from COVID-19. For only by doing so can we reopen and recover. No amount of vaccines can help us unless we here in Bohol can discipline ourselves, unless we can test, unless we can treat, unless we can contact trace. Until we are disciplined enough to tell each other, to remind each other to follow these minimum health standards, no vaccines will be able to save us. Thank you to the National Museum for your work in restoring our magnificent churches, and these establishments of heritage. In the same vein, we thank our dear friend, Dr. Escalante, for his work in the National Historical Commission. Thank you for helping Bohol keep its identity by restoring our temples of faith and our heritage buildings. I assure you, on behalf of our people, we will take care of them. For our people today, in honor of our history, in honor of our ancestors, and for the generations yet unborn. Daghang salamat ninyong tanan.